Hello everyone, VJose42 back here with another deck report. Don't know why I did that, but it was fun. Let's look at what's going on at Kickstarter. I was gonna try to do this with a webcam upload on YouTube, but apparently it's not working. Yeah, apparently they won't allow me to do a webcam upload for some reason, and apparently my Windows Movie Maker won't recognize my webcam. So much for that. So, anyways, bear with me. I apologize. I should have done this already. So let's look at what's going on in playing cards on Kickstarter. Yay. Physique playing cards from Collectible Playing Cards is now 64% funded with 16 days to go. It's not a question of if it's going to get funded, but more of when it's going to get funded. The Old Bones playing cards, the Toronto Playing Card Company, 59% funded with 34 days to go. That one's still a little bit iffy on whether or not it's going to get funded, I think. The Bicycle Starlight from Collectible Playing Cards, 164% funded, and ironically 64 hours left in that campaign. And it's also now available for pre-order on their website in case you don't have a Kickstarter account or don't want the hassle or whatever, or you want to combine shipping. The Bicycle Classic Monsters cards from his son at Classics Playing Cards, 79% funded with 15 days to go. Again, not really a question of if it's going to get funded, but more of when it's going to get funded. Then there is a TFJ Playing Cards, the 5th Jack Playing Cards by Brian Graham. 27 days left, only 9% funded. Not really doing a whole lot better than the Inspired deck of cards, unfortunately. But I do recommend checking it out. I mean, if you like Fontaines, you'll like these, without a doubt. Then there's the Lost Wax Playing Cards, which is a new deck by Olutaide Abedoye. It basically features 15th century Nigerian artwork. That one is not going to happen. They have a funding goal of, I believe, $38,000, which is completely outrageous. They're printing 7,200 decks, which is ridiculous. And apparently he's got support from some Nigerian companies, whatever. But they haven't supported him financially. And if they don't do that, there's no way he's going to get funded for 7,200 decks. And then some of his prices were ridiculous. I don't know if he's fixed them or not. I pointed it out to him. Well, I see one deck is still $15. It's weird that he has $5 shipping, and then he's also got $7 shipping. So which is it? Free decks, $28 plus shipping. He's got that twice for some reason. I don't know why. 4 decks, $35. He doesn't have a 2-deck thing. And I don't know if he's got it set up for add-ons. He's added a brick for $95 plus shipping, which is a good deal. 2 bricks for $190. 4 bricks for $360. Wow. Amazing. Before, for $360, you would get 9 decks and a tote bag. Now you get 4 bricks. That's a major improvement. Although, I don't know who's going to buy 4 bricks. It's an interesting deck of cards, but it's not going to get funded. Not with a $38,000 goal. That's just absurd. I'm sorry, but it is. Then there is the Nothing But Suits Playing Cards by High Art. I think I mentioned it before. Looks a little bit like the Black Book of Cards, except instead of the court cards and pips being made out of words, like the Black Book of Cards, which is typographic based, every image is made up out of little pips. So it's kind of interesting. 32 days left, 21% funded. I don't know if it's going to get funded at this rate. Royal Dinosaur playing cards by No Reply Design. 6 days left, 221% funded. It's doing very good, surprisingly. The Voyager playing cards by Derek McGee. 94% funded, 15 days left. It will get funded, obviously. There's two decks with that one. It's the Lays My Leaves deck, but now it's available in both blue and red, printed by Legends Playing Card Company instead of USPC. Only 1,111 Aurora Red decks will be printed, so those ones are pretty limited. And I think I saw that there was going to be there's embossing and whatnot that's going to be on the box. So they're customizing the box more, but the cards is still standard, which is just not a huge fan of that. The Heretic playing cards by Lorenzo Gazziotti and United Cardists, I guess. 4 days left, 342% funded. That's amazing. And they're still doing stuff, and right now there's freebies. If you pledge, I think it's 4 decks or more, there's going to be, depending how many decks you're getting, there's stickers, there is little certificates, there is a 58th card, because these decks are going to have 57 cards, I believe, instead of 56. And there's also going to be additional decks. Actually, the Requiem decks are going to be as well. Either one or both, depending how much you pledge. The Memento playing cards by Valerio Aversa. 42% funded, 9 days left. I don't think it's going to make it, which is a shame. They're beautiful decks of cards. I don't know why people are not pledging for them. It's not like there's a whole lot of other decks out there that are that amazing. I mean, there's some nice decks out there, but nothing like Federal 52 like or anything like that. But I think his biggest issue is trying to fund 2 decks at once. I've mentioned it before. I will mention it again. If you are a newbie Kickstarter creator who doesn't have a following, especially if you don't have a following, trying to create a campaign to put 2 decks, 2 different colors of one deck, usually leads to failure because it means your goal is way higher and you don't have the following to get it that high, to get that much funding. My only suggestion would be to relaunch with just one color, and then the other one would be a goal, excuse me, would be a whatchamacallit, a stretch goal. That's it, a stretch goal. That way, there's a chance that you at least get one printed, if not both. Then there is Sand & Young's Derby playing cards by Sandbox Mode. 39% funded, 13 days left. Doesn't look like it's going to make it either. Then there's Tech Skulls playing cards by Quad City Cards. 35% funded, 10 days left. That's not going to make it. I guess people don't want to see the combination of skulls and technology. It's just weird. Muertos, Day of the Dead playing cards by Steve Minty. Over 1,000% funded, if you can believe that. 26 hours left. Right now, if you pledge for they have added 3 more decks. They have 5 decks now. There's the original black deck, then there's a white deck, and now there is basically a purple deck, a blue deck, and a red deck. If you get those decks, you get free dice as well, which is awesome. And there's probably going to be more stretch goals if they get $150,000 within the next few hours. Wouldn't surprise me. Then there's the Traps and Treasures playing cards by Lawlock Games. 18% funded, 9 days left. Ain't gonna happen. It can be used as a standard deck of cards. but it's more for like fantasy stuff, role playing. There's the Glitch playing cards by Soleil Zumbrun. 3 days left, 99% funded. It's going to get funded if you can believe it or not. It's a weird deck of cards. I don't know if I would pledge for it or not. My biggest concern, she does have a good amount of funding, but my biggest concern is that she had too many people pledging for $1 or $2 at the beginning, which is just weird. Then there's the Kingdoms of Erden playing cards. 7 days left. It is 103% funded. It finally funded. It's pretty interesting. It is fantasy based. Based on stuff this guy has created himself, its own fantasy world. So it's pretty interesting. Plug Nickel playing cards. Bicycle Plug Nickel by Matt Drake. And as I mentioned, Kingdoms of Erden was by Tim Olinger. Back to the other one. Bicycle Plug Nickel by Matt Drake. 61% funded, 21 days. It's still got hope. And I should be reviewing that one soon. I believe he's sending me a prototype deck, which is awesome. So I will review that once I get it. Then there is the Interlace playing cards, which is a very interesting campaign. They're doing both a bicycle deck and a Legends deck in red, so that people, designers, creators, cardists, magicians, can take the exact same deck by Bicycle, by USPC, and then the exact same deck by Legends playing cards, compare them, how they handle, how they look, and see if there's any differences. It's interesting, but 29 days left, only 14% funded. It's going very slow. The goal is a little bit high, 28,000 or 30,000, something like that. I can check. And there is a stretch goal for black decks, both by Bicycle and Legends. And this one is by a fellow named Christian Sass. Came up with the idea when he was thinking of creating a deck of cards and he didn't know which one to use. So I figured, let's just do both and see which one, so we can compare to both. And the goal is $28,000. So it's reachable, but I think if he had both colors available, it'd do much better. Then there is the Kingdoms of a New World, Part 2, I guess, if you want to call it, by Nathaniel Mortensen. 27 hours left, 449% funded. And again, I don't know why they're doing this deck again. Then there's the Gorilla deck of playing cards by Spicy Pickle Creative, which is one of the Edgy brothers who created the other Day of the Dead deck not too long ago. This is going to be a deck printed by Expert Playing Card Company. It's Riderback styled, more or less, but it's got gorillas all over the court cards and the faces. It's pretty interesting. There's also a stretch goal for a red one, I believe. Right now they're at 54% funded with 12 days left. It's not looking too good. Then there's the Bicycle 100 Years War playing cards by Spade and Company. And I say it like that because it's Spade with 4 A's. Slight misspelling error. Intentional though. 61% funded, 13 days left. There's 2 different colors. Again, I think the issue is, like I mentioned before, first timer, at least that I know of, and they're trying to get 2 decks funded at the same time. It's hard enough to get 1 deck funded when you're a first timer, especially a USPC deck. And here we got one trying 2 decks at the same time. But they're doing better than some of the others, so there's still a little bit of hope. Then there is the Brasileño Football Soccer World Cup playing cards by Boardroom. 3% funded, 23 days left. This one's not even going to be funded by World Cup 2018. Never mind, 2014. Then there is the Kolesnikov Identification playing cards by Gwebs, or G-Webs, however you pronounce that. 9 days left, 34% funded. Thank goodness it's not going to get funded. Basically what it is a deck of cards that features different guns on the face of every card. Like we need more guns, or more guns in people's faces. Just go away. Then there is the bicycle Funi deck. Toonie, I don't even know how you pronounce that. I apologize. By Trumpman, which is based on a, well, it's inspired by India's vibrant colors, as it says, and is based on a card game that I think was played in Africa or something. 14 days left, only 34% funded. They did have a stretch goal for a second deck. They're not even going to get funded, unfortunately, because it's a pretty cool deck. I mean, there's actual effort put into it, not like some decks. Then there is the Coat of Arms bicycle playing cards, just launched on Kickstarter. There's two decks. There is a Coat of Arms deck, which is basically a white deck, and then there is a Dark Ages deck, which is it's a limited edition black deck, basically. It's 2,500 of that, and then the other one's going to be more limited. It's by a guy named Justin Freud. He got the idea after looking at coat of arms on his wall or whatever. Pretty good idea. So far, 18% funded, just launched, and 29 days left. It's definitely got possibilities. But again, it could be one deck too many. Then there is the Lambda red and blue playing cards. I don't even know if it's two decks, if it's just one. It's a weird looking deck. 48% funded, 14 days to go. I don't know if it's going to get funded at this rate, but I'd probably guess not. This deck has faces similar to the Ultraviolet, which basically has mirror image pips. So it's reversible faces and backs. Multicolored diamond back pattern on the back design, and it's just not interested. Then there is the Bicycle Frontier deck of cards by Frontier Cards. 52% funded, 18 days left. Again, it's going to be close. And again, the same thing. Trying to launch two decks of cards out of the gate in their first campaign. The other one being the Predator deck, which is similar, but I think it's the same, it's just that it's red instead of blue. But they're pretty cool. Another new deck is the Celtic Knot playing cards by Seal Teats or Kelteats, I guess it is. Basically, it's by Quad City Cards, which also has the Tech Skulls deck of cards going right now. And this one's doing as good as the other one. It's 19% funded with 22 days left. Quite frankly, I'm not sure how Kickstarter allows them to start a second campaign when they haven't even funded or fulfilled the previous one. Usually they don't allow that for newbies. Then there's the Cult Movie cards by Human After All. 71 hours left, 165% funded. It is a USPC deck. I don't know what USPC is going to say about the artwork. They might go, no thank you. They might not do it. But I don't know. Then there's the Bicycle Flat Design playing cards by House of Games and Stuff. It's a minimalist deck of cards. What they've done is, it is very minimalist. I believe clubs are green, spades are gray, hearts are red, and diamonds are blue face. That's the faces. Jokers are kind of a gold face. And then the back design is just multicolored. It's 15% funded, 11 days left. That's not going to happen anyway. Then, I don't know if I mentioned this one before, Bicycle Get Made by Scott King. Two decks of cards. There is a gold deck and a silver deck, basically a black deck and a white deck. It's inspired by 1920s Mafia. It's awesome. It's 92% funded with 33 days to go. Really long campaign. I don't know why, but it is. And see, this one is a guy who's done a Kickstarter before. He's got a following. Now he's doing two decks and he's going to get funded. It's not like these other guys who nobody knows who they are and they're trying to print two decks. Whatever. Anyways, then there's History on Deck. I'm going to lose my voice soon if I don't stop. Which is a weird deck. Basically, it's a deck of cards based on the American Revolution with pictures of reenactors So basically every card's gonna have images that were reenacted by models, and it's just not very enticing. So far, it's 26% funded with 20 days left. I can't be surprised if it got funded. If you're into tarot decks, there's a couple on there. There's the Ritual Abuse Tarot deck by Ryan Sheffield, which is 177% funded with 5 days left. And there's another newer one, Tarot of the Zirkus Magi by Doug Fornsjoe, 35 days left, only 28% funded so far. Then there's 52 Legends World Cup playing cards by Daniel Duncan. That is 119% funded with 11 days to go. Somehow it got funded. At least it's a lot better than the Brasileño deck. That somebody even came up with a strategy board game on soccer. Then there's the Vincent's playing cards by John Rangel, which is a series of decks that they're doing on Vincent van Gogh. 31% funded, 29 days left. Still too early to tell. And, the Demon deck by Roman Kotiv. That was funded successfully, 225% funded. That one's a little bit iffy for me because he was not charging anywhere near enough for international shipping. $2 will not even mail a letter international for most people that I know of. And that is that. I should mention that cardlauncher.com, I apologize, this video is a little bit long. Cardlauncher.com has gotten USB-C on board, so now you can get USB-C decks or Expert Playing Card Company decks through cardlauncher.com, which is going to be a playing card version of Kickstarter coming in August. And it looks like the Bucks, Dan and Dave Buck and Justin Buck, might soon be a part of United Cardists. And I want to thank Mike from United Cardists for allowing me to be a part of the forum again. I have been unbanned on that forum. I don't know what changed, what happened, but hey, I'll take it. And I should mention a couple new decks on collectible playing cards. First of all, now available for pre-order on the website, the Bicycle Sewer Dwellers, which looks like a smelly deck of cards because it's based on the sewer. And they also have coming up soon, launching on Sunday on Kickstarter, the Bicycle Bacon Lovers, which has words on the back design. And that's all it is. The back design is just words. And it's got pigs for court cards. And it's just weird. And there's all sorts of other decks coming soon. But I'm going to lose my voice. And I've been talking for too long anyways. So I'll see you next time.